everyone, it's Rachael Merrick from Merrick Makings here in Australia, and I'm back with another fun fold. Now these fun folds, they do follow pretty much the same instructions, so pop to the very end of this video to get the measurements. However, you will see that today's card uses the fabulous Flowers and Frames DSP, which is such a pretty color combination. Lost Lagoon is probably one of my favorites at the moment. So, and I love the fact that it's double-sided. Now this set does actually have some punch out elements as well, which you will see me use, but I'm basically putting this together exactly the same as my previous video. So if you haven't seen that, pop on over. I'll probably give you a little more detail as it's going through, but you can see this time round I have used the two different sides of the DSP on my base card, and then my front let's call it bridge over the top is actually a lot wider, so it's going to create an entire front of the card without having to add extra panels like I did in my previous card. This one is the finished card, works out to be 10 centimeters by 14.5 centimeters, so slightly smaller than a standard Australian card, but it will fit in an envelope beautifully because of the extra bulkiness to it. That just allows a little bit more wiggle room. It is very simple, sticking your DSP onto your panels. The DSP does all the work in these cards, and you will notice again I'm using that same DSP for that front bridge section. Now I am adding from the Spotlight on Nature, in that stamp set there is this gorgeous little splatter pattern, so I am using Lost Lagoon to add some of that in the background. Doesn't have to be perfect because I am going to cover it up with some of these punch out elements. The sentiment is also from the Spotlight on Nature, and it just purely says thanks. Now this is a reminder, there are two sides to every piece of cardstock that you use, and if you do happen to be a little bit unsatisfied with the first time, just flip it over and give it another stamp like I did. So you can see these are the elements that I'm using. Very leafy, matches in perfectly of course with your DSP, and it means that this comes together really quickly. Now I say that a lot about all of my cards, and you will notice that I add in extra speckles, purely just second and third generational stamping there, just to add that extra little bit because my die cuts were covering up too much and I wanted a little bit of background texture. And pretty much this is the completed card, or close to, apart from some embellishments. A tip here, if you want perfect miter cuts at the end, is to cut up through the middle first and go edge to middle, edge to middle. My upline Tracy did teach me that one, and that is probably a trick I use all of the time. So just popping some dimensional dots on this one. Like I've said previously, this is going to be a bit of a series. I'm going to put together half a dozen videos on using the basic double Z fold idea, but changing it up slightly every time so that it looks different and it gives you a different effect. This one definitely has a bigger, bolder front, and is a lot faster to put together than the previous one because you can actually score the entire cardstock and then cut it to the correct sizes. So the scoring on this one, it is 20 centimeters wide, and then you score at 5, 10 and 15. So you have a 10 centimeter, so 10 and 15 you score at. So you've got a 10 centimeter section and two 5 centimeter sections, and like I said in previous video, all of my DSP is cut 1/2 centimeter smaller than the actual panel it's going on to give that beautiful white border. Adding a few diamantes, and that's it. Thanks so much for joining me. There is room in there for writing a little bit something too. Bye bye.